What's up guys, welcome back to the channel. Alright, today is a very big day for the gaming community. You guys already know Baldur's Gate 3 is out, and I mean, come on. You already know what I'm here for. I'm here for a settings video, so I'm gonna attempt to show you guys like what the best settings are in my opinion and through my testing. So yeah, let's jump right into it without any delay. Display adapter, obviously you're gonna want to select your GPU. I mean, if you have multiple graphics cards, then you know, select the right one. Obviously select your right monitor as well. Aspect ratio, you guys already know all this, right? Borderless window, since I kind of have like another monitor, so I want to like be able to go to my other monitor without having to tap out. If using disabled frame rate cap, I would generally just recommend frame rate cap in any game. So just try to match your current monitor frequency. I currently have a 165 hertz display, so I would go with 180, you know, just a bit above. Gamma correction, obviously this will depend on you. I just leave it at default. Overall preset, you don't have to touch this. I mean, you can kind of play around with whatever works for you, but since we're going to be changing some things, it's going to be custom anyways. All right, so this is where it gets interesting. Model quality, I would go with medium because I did notice a bit of a boost in terms of FPS. And anyways, if you guys look like right here on my right, the difference between low, medium, and high isn't really that noticeable unless you really look closer. Just medium is a good starting point. Detailed distance, though, I would stay at high. Instance distance, I would go with medium just because I did also notice a bit of a performance boost. Texture quality, you could honestly just leave this at ultra or high. It doesn't really make a difference. You know, like the FPS that you gain is not that much. It's probably like 1 FPS. So texture filtering, now this one affects your FPS a lot. So you're better off putting it at trilinear if you're really struggling. But you know, I'm like well above 100 in most cases or in most instances, so I wouldn't mind putting this at anisotropic 16 times. But like I said, if you're really struggling with your FPS, then obviously drop this down. Animation level of detail high. Slow hard drive disk mode is only if you know, there are some times where like you're really like struggling with like the loading of things and you just want to like offload it from your RAM or from your VRAM and you're going to put it on your disk. But I would say with most games and most devices or most like PCs are going to be able to like run this game properly, so you shouldn't really need this anyways. Dynamic crowds, this is really like when there are like multiple, I would say multiple NPCs or multiple characters at the same time, and you know, but honestly I just disabled this. I don't really care about like dynamic crowds. Shadow quality, if you know me, I hate shadows in all games. I've never been a shadow fan, but if you really must put it, then you know, put it at medium or high, whatever. But yeah, low. Cloud quality, same thing. I don't really look at the clouds in this game, but I must say this game is visually stunning, so if you want to have like the best look, then you could probably put this at medium or high. Fog quality, same thing. I don't care about the fog, so yeah, all low for like these things. Post-processing, I wouldn't recommend it unless you're really struggling with your frame rate. But just using these makes the game kind of look blurry. I don't know why. I mean, obviously it's gonna, you know, like drop the resolution and then upscale it back to your resolution, but it's just really bad. Like in some games I would use it, but in these type of games I generally wouldn't recommend them. What in the world? Did you guys hear that? That was a loud boom. Anyways, you guys probably didn't hear that, but yo, that was a loud roll of thunder. Anyways, we're gonna continue. Fidelity effect sharpening, I would turn this on. I mean, you know, I don't mind sharpening. You know, you could play with this. I just don't really care if it's up here or down here, so I could close my eyes and honestly just slide it like randomly and it would be fine with me. Anti-aliasing TAA is nice and good. Ambient occlusion, yeah, turn it on. Honestly, it's just like with the soft shadows, as you guys can see, like here in the crevices of like this little hill right here, like these rocks. Yeah, it makes it look good. Depth of field, this is all up to you. I generally don't like depth of field in most games, but I must say this game is really visually stunning and it's really nice. So I would turn it on, leave it on. Circular is nice because Gaussian is really just like I don't know how to explain it, but it's more like it's kind of like how cameras work. But circular is really just they're really going like around this object, and then they're just trying to like know which one they should blur and which one they should keep like sharpened or focused. But yeah, circular is nice. Quarter denoise is just quarter of like the resolution, and then they like remove the noise as well. So quarter and denoise pretty good. God rays, bloom, subsurface scattering, you could leave all of these on. They don't affect FPS from what I've seen. Obviously, like it's probably gonna affect it by like 1 FPS, you know, it's really not that much of a difference. But in my opinion, like it's really just not worth it. If there was a setting in here that really affected your FPS, I would tell you guys about it. From my testing, model quality and texture filtering are the ones that really like play with your FPS the most. But still, at the end of the day, they're not to the point where it's like life-changing. So really just test things out, but these are the settings that I would recommend. So yeah, this is how it looks like. I'm just gonna like move around, show you guys how it looks like. You know, rocking around. Obviously the shadows are just not that nice, but like I said, shadows really like they don't bother me, so I don't really care. But once we zoom out, this is usually how you're gonna be playing. And I'll show you guys how it looks like when you talk to someone. This is how it looks like. The game is really nice in my opinion.
Perhaps we shouldn't linger.
Currently sitting at 95 FPS. I don't know if you guys see it, but it's showing right here at the corner of my screen. Currently at 89, 90. And once I leave, still at 92, 82, 77. It kind of goes down. But yeah. Honestly, like, this is still like the first version of the game, so I don't expect much, but honestly, it's pretty well optimized. My only complaint is that it looks kind of blurry in certain instances, and there are some weird FPS drops, but that's to be expected. And if we switch this to Trilinear texture filtering, I think this is where we're going to benefit the most from like FPS. Obviously it didn't change my FPS much, but I think it's more a question of stability over FPS. Really, these settings are just for stability mostly. But yeah, if we were to bump everything at ultra, you guys are gonna see that like we are gonna be sitting like at 40, 60, 70 FPS. It's not that great. It's struggling a bit more. And yeah, the game doesn't look that much better unless you kind of like zoom or like look at certain objects. But yeah, like I said, those were my recommended settings. And also, I know a lot of you guys are going to be wondering which one should I use, Vulkan or DX11, DirectX 11. And from what I've tested, from what I've seen, Vulkan generally gives you more FPS. It's more for performance. But looking at the two, I felt like Vulkan was more washed out, and it seemed a little bit more brighter. Like, I don't know, like the colors were a little bit more washed out. It didn't really look that nice. So unless you were really struggling, then use Vulkan. But I think the vast majority of PC players are going to be using the X11. So yeah, I think that'll be it for this video. Anyways, I hope you guys enjoyed this video. And yeah, don't be afraid to drop a comment on what you didn't like, what you liked, if there's something else that I missed. And yeah, anyways, I'll see you guys in the next video. Ciao, ciao.